guys, welcome to Raja Makes Money. How are my money makers doing? And we did it again. We got the chicken. Another, I don't know, 2 days or 3 days in a row now. The chicken streak continues. We are winning at trading stocks. So I hope all you guys had a great day in the market. We had another up day in the market. So it shows, I'll just get right into it and welcome all our Patreon members. So many new Patreon members. Thank you guys. And all our Patreon members have access to my trades in real time that I post while I make them. So big welcome to all you guys. But let's just get right into it because we have an exciting show today, and we have a special guest. So let's jump right in. So this is interesting. So if you guys remember, yesterday we were up $584,000, and it ended at $7,017,000. So what's interesting about that is if you see today we're at $7,096,000, we're up $59,000. Somehow overnight we got $20,000 extra dollars. So I don't know if we actually did almost 604,000 yesterday, or we did 800,000 or 80,000 today. I don't know. The good news is we have an extra 20 million we found somewhere. Maybe because remember we had those naked. I was showing you guys how it wasn't calculating. So I don't know. Maybe they go through, they upgrade trades. I have no clue. It's free money. We'll take it. So, and Bill, $3 super chat. Love the channel. Thank you for teaching about puts. Very welcome, Bill, and thank you for being part of the channel. So, yeah, let's go in. So, overall, interesting day today. I'm going to be honest with you. My hands are kind of tied. I'm going to show you why here in a second. But this is where we are. We'll go over the different trades. We did close a couple of positions out that we had some profits. Some nice profits, some not huge profits. And then we have some stuff that is still down for us that I think is going to come back strong. I'm not worried about it. Sometimes when the market sells off, you get some stuff. Some stuff was up today. The Dow was up, NASDAQ was down. All I can say is thank God we're not playing Apple right now, because what I was telling you guys about with the premium on Apple and it being down, 2.5, 3 points at one point today, under 130, we would have got slaughtered. Instead of being up $1 million, we'd be down this week $1 million or more. Probably not $1 million, but we'd be down a couple hundred, having to roll out and roll forward. So everything's working out actually pretty good for us. But this is where we sold a couple off, like I said. Give everybody a little look here, and of course. The only bad one right here is this IDEX. We need IDEX to come back. This thing was like $5.40. I think it has a good base around this $4 range. The good news is after hours, it's up 8 cents. Honestly, it doesn't really matter what this thing does until Friday at noon. And a couple of different ways to play this. The only thing I don't like is its monthly options. Right now, the margin requirement on this is $724,500. So that's basically the full $5 value, $1,800,000. If you take 180,000 shares of stock at $5 a share, would be $900,000. So it's basically like a 70%, 80% margin requirement. That's tying it all up. So we definitely want to look at that one and what we're doing with it. And B-Slot Videos, $5 super chat. Thanks for the information. You're very welcome, and thank you for the super chat and watching us. We'll discuss this one more tomorrow. We have 2 more days on this one. It's not going anywhere. I'm not really that concerned about it. I mean, I like it to just go up, maybe close it out. We'll take a profit. Maybe we take a small minor loss on it. But we'll figure it out, or we'll roll it out, or maybe I'll actually take in the 180,000 shares of stock, and I'll if it goes up on Monday, next week you sell it and make some money. Or I'll sell a call, against it to make some money back. A lot of different ways to play it. We'll figure it out what makes the most sense. Oh, my God. Whoops. Bonsai, Yama Review, $20 super chat. Thank you so much. And Bonsai is one of our YouTube sponsors. And, of course, if you guys haven't ever checked out Bonsai's channel, make sure you do. Thank you so much, Bonsai. And Bonsai is going to be live later on tonight playing, so guys check it out. But, yeah, so this is what happened. So this is where we are in an issue. So this morning I wake up. Well, I've been getting these emails from Charles Schwab saying we have some we're changing margin on your account. But then I got an email that says no worries, everything's fine. I said, oh, okay, good. Well, then I got this. I'm going to show you guys this. I got this for a maintenance call for $16 million. I was like, wow, they did change some stuff. So then about 3 hours into the day, well, I couldn't buy anything. And about 3 hours into the day, I get a phone call, and it says, and the guy's like, yeah, I just want to let you know some margin change and some different requirements. This is yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, oh, yeah, no, I get it. I'm a big boy. They're like, well, you're highly concentrated. I said, well, my other accounts, you didn't do this to. He goes, well, you're highly concentrated, in this stock, in this account. I didn't want to argue with him. I'm like, well, I'm highly concentrated in my other accounts with this stock too. I didn't want him to go change margin in those stocks and create it. So the good news is I don't have to do anything. CCIV is sitting, it's sitting pretty. It's, $56 after hours. It's up a point. It's 20 points away from the 35s, 25 points away from the 30s. I feel pretty safe, but I mean, if this thing did drop or tank in the next 2 days, so it's going to be a nerve-wracking 2 days. But so let me show you this. So then I'm looking at it. So I'm like, I'm figuring if I sell these positions, so I basically would have to sell about 12,000 positions or buy them back to free up the account at the 16 million. Well, now I'm looking at it and it says margin requirement on this position, 18 million, this one, 15 million, this one, 7 million, this one, 2.8 million. So I'm like, I don't know, this doesn't make any sense. So I go to my balance screen. Got $7.1 million in the account, made, of course, the 60,000 today. I have a margin call now for $38 million. So I'm going to need you guys to all start a GoFundMe for now. But yeah, so I don't know what's going on. All I know is I really can't do anything in my account right now besides buy to close and sell. So in this account, I am doing some stuff in my other accounts, but we're kind of in a holding pattern until Friday. Now, this is where it gets tricky because if these all expire worthless, I don't want to buy this back. Why do I want to go out of my way to buy these back? Let them all expire worthless because even at a penny, that's $7,200. Even at a penny, that's $5,200. So I don't want to buy this stuff back. It's unless I have something that's going to make me $12,000, $13,000. And that's even saying the market maker will sell them to me at a penny. He could leave his bid at 3 cents, 5 cents. I mean, he could just jerk me around, especially now that they've changed the margin even again. It doesn't even, I honestly don't even understand how, basically they're saying I could have about 1,000 contracts open. I don't know, 1,400. They're really going to make this pretty much where you can't play any options on this any longer. So after this week, I don't know how much longer we'll be into it. Hopefully it stays strong. These ones here will probably just close out, get out of, or let it ride. We don't really have that much money to wait 4 more weeks for $100,000, so definitely shopping out some new stuff. We'll be letting you guys know as soon as I find the new things and what I'm looking at. Let's just go over Dark Pulse today. I sold some of that. I still have more shares left, but I made a profit. This Sun Hydrogen, I still like this one. It was up today. I sold it. It was actually down at the end of the day. Maybe, when my account does clear up, I'll probably get back into this one. But I figured, let's take some profit. It's not bad. Netlist, we didn't have a lot of stock in this one. It was up a couple of pennies. We made $500-$600, took the profit, moved on. PPJE, we actually had, this is the one we had 5.4 million shares of. We had sold some yesterday. I sold the rest of it, had a nice profit, made $5,000-$6,000 on this trade. Figured let's just get out of it. We have so much stuff we're playing, so I just figured let's get out of it. It's a lot of shares. That's the only moves today. Nothing too crazy. Markets for tomorrow, everything in the red, not bad. It's pretty much flat. The big one is CCIV that we're playing. We're going to discuss that in just a few minutes when our special guest Natalie joins us. I think you guys are going to really enjoy this. Natalie is a millennial, as you guys like to call the younger generation, who got into trading at a young age. She did cryptocurrencies, knows all about it, and she's really big on the electric vehicles and different stuff. So she's going to be joining us talking. Bitcoin today, all new high, got almost near the highs. Still mind blowing on this. What's going on? Dogecoin is almost down to 4 cents. So I hope you guys all have closed your Doge. Oh, it is 4 cents. Now it's just in the last minute. It's just tanking off. So hopefully everyone got out of the Dogecoin because it's going to keep going down. So, but that's what I got for you guys. And I think, like I said, I want to bring Natalie on. She's got all sorts of insight on some different companies that she's following. And hope you guys enjoy having her come join us. And let's bring her on. There she is. Welcome, Natalie.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. So so one of the big stocks that we've been talking about is CCIV, and that's one that you've been playing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So I had heard a little bit about it, but I was a little hesitant to get into it. I think like a few people were. So I've kind of just been watching it, and I know on Friday there was a huge uptick when there was some news released, and then yesterday it kind of just went a little bit more wild. So I got in yesterday morning twice, and then again in the afternoon. But yeah, I think one of the things that was really interesting was that spike that had happened around like 1 p.m. Eastern, I think it was. And so that was because of the SEC filing being released. So I don't know if you want to pull that up.
Yeah.
But I think it's really interesting. So if you look down in the documents section, I was actually kind of able to get in right before that jump because I had refreshed the SEC page and saw that there was new activity. And so this was Aristesia Capital, which is a hedge fund getting into it's 11 million shares. So that was like what had happened and why the stock started going up. And then they actually halted trading for a bit as well because that news was kind of going around. But if you were able to get in around 40 before it jumped up to 50 and 55, I mean, I think you got in at a good place.
Now, how do you get these SEC files? Are you like subscribed to a service, or you just are checking all the day long the SEC?
Yeah, just checking. I just kept refreshing, every 10 minutes or so, or every 30 minutes, especially too when I noticed there's a little bit more activity happening. So the stock had started moving up. It was down in the morning about 3%. And then I noticed it was starting to move up towards 40. And so that made me question, okay, something must have happened if it's just moving up so fast. So I looked at the SEC website. I saw that had just been released, and I just pounced on that, put in some money, and next thing you know, 10 minutes later, it was at 55. So it was pretty crazy. And then trade halted.
And same with today, out of nowhere, all of a sudden it was
Yeah.
$59 and then kind of pulled back. I don't know if the $60 of resistance. So I was doing some math. So I read an article on Yahoo, and I'm trying to figure out, everybody, I hear these rumblings that this could be $100 stock, it could be this, it could be that. So here's what I'm trying to figure out. If the company has, okay, so the SPAC itself, CCIV SPAC raised $2 billion.
Right.
The company itself says it's worth $12 billion.
Right.
So I know the SPAC is out there trying to raise another 1.5 billion. So that would give them a 3.5 billion based on their $10 stock price. Now, obviously, the SPAC is publicly traded. I don't know how many of those shares they still own or what the value is if they were to dump Lucid Motors into the SPAC. But I also know that Lucid Motors, they took $1 billion from the Saudi Arabia. Or $1.5 billion. They've taken in a lot of money also for that $12 billion valuation. So what I'm trying to understand with this whole SPAC player, if this SPAC acquired Lucid, how do you figure out a value? If we just took without all the other money and everything going on, and we said, okay, this SPAC started out with at $2 billion at $10 a share. So if the company Lucid says they have a $12 billion valuation, if you took the $2 billion at 10, that honestly, where it's at $60 a share, would be $12 billion. But obviously, they need to raise more money. They have to, and there's all this other money out there. So when people say that CCIV could go to $100, how are they coming up with those valuations? Because to me, it seems like this is already overvalued. I mean, yeah. I'm not complaining. I made $1 million in less than a week on this thing, so I'm very happy with it. But I'm just trying to understand how they come up with these valuations, or if they do dump it into the SPAC. I mean, is there? So, I mean, from what I'm seeing and hearing, and everybody's been reading, I mean, it sounds like this is going to be a done deal. Whether this deal is done tomorrow, Friday, April 1st, who fooled you all? It's not happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, no matter when this deal is, I think it's a 90% this is going to happen. But why? What if the stock's already $100? I mean, at some point, it's like a lot of stuff. It has to be way overvalued. It's not. I mean, yes, this company already has cars. They have showrooms, or they're starting production or in production. But at some point, it can't trade at 18,000 times earnings. Tesla got up to 1,800 times earnings, and Natalie played Tesla. We're going to talk about that one next, actually. But yeah, I mean, I was just curious if you have any thoughts, or why would this go much higher than where it is?
So I think, and I've even heard rumors of it being like 500, 300, 400. So, I mean, I don't think anyone realistically knows what this is going to get to. And I think the longer that they hold out on actually releasing the news of the merger, the higher it is going to be the day of the merger. But I think this is kind of a trend that we've been seeing within the past month or even longer, that's been happening is things are not being based on their actual value, but it's kind of being based on the hype around it. So we saw that with GameStop, with the stock going so exponentially high, and the company is not worth that. Even with Dogecoin, off of a meme, this coin got up, absolutely skyrocketed. And so these things don't have value. And even with Bitcoin, I mean, I think it's overvalued as it is right now, and the fact that it's gone up 30,000 more than that. It was 3,000 back in April. I remember seeing it be that back then. And now it's 50,000. I mean, it blows my mind, the fact that it's been around for so long, and just within this past year, it's gone up by that much. It doesn't make sense.
Well, hopefully, and Jeff Schwartz in the house, he says, part of the factor for CCIV is the fear of missing out factor, and fundamentals do not apply here. On CNBC today, they said the deal will be done before the month ends. Also, they are getting their Arizona production facility in order, which slipped by the news.
Yeah, I think the FOMO factor is honestly very real. The FOMO is real. And that's everything with the hype too. Everyone hears about it and then they want to get in because they don't want to miss out. And I think that's where, the gains that you can make are really big here, and the losses you can make are also really big. So you just really have to play your cards right, and you have to get in early. But that's where I think these SPAC deals are opportunities for us all to get in, even with the other electric stocks that are coming up through the SPAC route. I think these are really, really good, interesting opportunities.
Yeah, no, definitely. And super chat, Kevin DiVincenzi, $40 super chat. Remember when Bitcoin was $40 and I wanted to buy 1,000 coins? Great job, Natalie. Keep it up. I'm proud of you. And for those of you guys who do watch my gambling channel, The Big Jackpot, and the Click Father, Natalie is the Click Father's daughter. So
I'm the Click daughter.
So, all right. So next stock we wanted to talk about that you were playing and have done well in is Tesla. So why don't you give me your thoughts on Tesla? And then I have an interesting thing I'm going to ask you about with Tesla. I want to get your opinion on.
Totally.
But I do have, before we do this, in the chat, I'm just curious, and almost, wow, it's 200 people watching live. Thank you guys for joining us in the chat. I'm curious to know how much did Tesla earn in the last quarter, and how much did they earn for the last year? In the chat, whoever knows the answer, I want you to put that in there. I'm curious to have that number. I don't know I know they made money, and they've made money 4 months or 4 quarters in a year, but I want to know how much they made. I want you guys to tell me, how much did they just report that they made for the quarter, and how much have they made for the last year? And then I'm going to ask Natalie a really interesting question, all of you guys, to see if you have an answer, because I've seen something that isn't making any sense. So, but yeah, tell me why you like Tesla so much.
Yeah, so I mean, Tesla for me, I absolutely love the car to begin with. So that was one of the reasons why I invested in it. Is I truly like to invest in companies that I like their product. If I would sell it myself, I will buy into it and I'll purchase a piece of that company because I want to be an owner of it. So that's one of the reasons why I invest in it. And also, they're very forward thinking. I mean, electric cars are going to be the future. Whether you agree with that or not, it's happening right now, and we've seen it progressively happen within the past month. Even with like GM releasing, they're moving to an all new electric fleet. It's happening before our eyes. So you either want to get on board or, you're going to get lost in it. But I absolutely love the Tesla car. So that was one of my big reasons for it. But then clean energy is absolutely the future. And I'm a clean energy advocate myself. So I'm also investing in things that I fundamentally and morally believe in as well. So that was another reason. And then just even Elon Musk, he's such a mastermind, and I think he's just such an incredible innovator. So by investing in Tesla, I'm also investing in Elon, because I truly think that the work that he does, I mean, even with SpaceX, yesterday with Starlink, he just launched a couple hundred satellites.
Great products. Definitely.
Yeah, he makes great products. I mean, even Tesla, just not the fact that it's like clean energy, the fact that it's also an autonomous vehicle with the self-driving aspect, that's something else that I think that technology, I'm investing in that technology as well. So that's where I see Tesla as having multiple components of what we'll see in the future. So I'm investing in the future while I know that that's going to be a part of the future now, and hoping that will put out the gains over time.
Now, so Derek Dixon said, what happens if Tesla runs out of tax credits? Are you talking about like for themselves or for state tax credits? I know there was a lot of tax credits for buying a new car that you got X amount back and different stuff. Do you know about that one or?
I personally, I'm not sure about the tax credits. I think that I know that the government's talking about tax credits for individuals, but I don't know anything about tax credits for Tesla.
I know like it's an individual states, but I could hurt it.
Yeah.
So Shannon says the car maker generated a profit of $270 million in the fourth quarter, up from $105 million a year earlier. Sales rose about 46% to roughly $10.7 billion. Tesla has benefited from growing electric vehicle demand in China, where it began delivering locally made vehicles in 2019, January 27th, 2021. So this is good. This is good info. So and that's why I thought it was around 200 million or something like that. So my question is, if we look at Tesla, and so the stock is down from its highs about 11-12%. And they're saying it's down because of the Bitcoin, which is interesting because I was just doing some numbers, and why would Tesla be down because of Bitcoin? They invested $1.5 billion. I mean, I'm assuming that that's true, into Bitcoin, like they said. The company, and he when he said that Bitcoin was around $38,000 a share or 33,000, that's when it shot up to 43 and really got going. So I was doing the math. If he honestly bought $1.5 billion of Bitcoin, which I don't think he's lying about it, that company made more money off their Bitcoin purchase with Bitcoin at $52,000 right now than they made off of selling cars. Why would the stock be down 12%, 11% for the year? Shouldn't the stock be up? If wouldn't people say, you know what, he just made $300 million off of Bitcoin? Why would Bitcoin be down?
I don't really know. That's a really interesting point. And part of the reason why Tesla might even be down is maybe because of the CCIV deal, where people are seeing potential for other electric cars to come on the market. And so they're realizing, okay, maybe Tesla isn't going to be the number one. So let me just sell a bit of the Tesla that I had. Let me put it into other ones and invest in those. So I'm just playing it safe. And some of the Tesla investors might not even like the fact that Elon put into Bitcoin. They might find that as really risky, or even make the stock more volatile, because Bitcoin itself is volatile. So when you're putting the two together, you're just going to make it a little bit more volatile overall. So I think that those might be some of the reasons, but I think that's really interesting that, he could have made all Bitcoin and sales fractions himself.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
I think to that, it's not too late to buy Tesla.
Yeah, so that's what, Wolf says, do you think it's too late to buy Tesla now?
It really depends on how you're trying to invest, but if you're looking to this for a long-term hold, I don't think it's too late. Again, like I said, I'm also investing in Elon and his mastermind. He is so innovative, and I think that there's a lot more to come and a lot more that we'll see that hasn't been released. Even with the trucks that might be coming, there's a lot that we don't know about. So I would say now's a good time, especially because the stock is down. So I would actually encourage you to get in.
So you think it's good upside. WA says Tesla's a battery company. It's the batteries that enable the car, and they will enable other uses as well. So I've heard that, but like today, is it QO? Is it the battery company? QA? Is that it?
I'm not too sure.
It was like $65 a share today. I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head, but I think it's like QA. QA. Somebody must know what I'm talking about. It's like two initials for it's QS. There we go, QS. So QuantumScape Corporation. So that's a big battery company. They were up 31% today, $66, up $15.88. So why would I mean, obviously Tesla's a bit, but there's other batteries out there. So it definitely is interesting on that one. So all right, so you guys have asked. Natalie says Tesla is a buy. All right, let's go. The next one that you've been playing is Canoo. And this one has been as high as $22. This is a 3-month chart on it. It's losing money.
Yeah, so I haven't actually played into these yet. These are ones that I've kind of just been monitoring, but I plan on playing into them. And so, this is an interesting one because it's doing things very differently. One factor is, it's actually operating a subscription-based model, which I think will be very interesting in terms of replacing our common car leases. And I think that'll sit really well with millennials in the future. If you're able to just kind of car for a month and then turn it back in, and not have to worry about that. Whole subscription model is one component of what makes this a good stock. I think the second component is the fact that they're in talks with Apple. There's rumors around that. And as we've seen in the past month, rumors do mean something to the stock price. So even if it might not be true, it does do something. And if you're trying to get in on this, whether those rumors are true or not, that's still something. And so I think, this is one that they've been saying, if you want to get in, you want to buy and hold. But, there is some volatility in it. So if you were trying to kind of just make some quick gains, you could probably do that as well.
Okay. Another one you said you're watching is Climate Change Crisis, Real Impact. That's a mouthful.
Yeah. So, with all these new electric cars coming out, they need chargers to power them. And so this is the SPAC that's buying out EVgo. And so they've actually merged with EVgo already, which is one of the largest fast chargers in the country. And this company actually has partnerships with GM, partnerships with Tesla, Lyft and Uber, and even Kroger. So, it has these established company partnerships, and it is one of the best fast charging stations. So even as, you might want to invest in Tesla or Lucid or whatever, you need a charger that's going to keep these going. So if you're not sure which car is going to win out overall, that it at least is going to need something to charge it. So that's where I'm looking into these chargers, as, they're also merging and taking the SPAC route as well, which we see is doing really well with CCIV. So I would just look into that. I think EVgo, you're going to start to see a lot more around the country. We're going to start hearing a lot more about it as well. The ticker hasn't officially changed. So this is also a good time to get into that because it's not reflecting that in the market yet.
All right. Sounds good. Now, and the other one you're looking at is Switchback Energy Acquisition Corporation.
Yeah. So Switchback is set to merge with ChargePoint. So this one, they were supposed to have a meeting about the merger, I think on the 11th, and then that was postponed to the 25th. So a lot of people sold off after the meeting was delayed. So I think it's a little bit lower now. If you do like a 5-day compared, yeah. So see, there's like a little dip for February. So that was when people started to sell off because they were freaking out about the meeting being delayed and there potentially not being enough votes to secure the merger. I think that they will secure the merger. They are working on an active media campaign to kind of get people out to come and vote. So I think that that's going to go through well. But that meeting is on the 25th, so next Thursday. So if you're wanting to get in before that merger is secured, now would be the time, especially after people had just sold off. So this would be a good opportunity.
All right. So now these last three that you mentioned, are you playing any of those or you're just researching those right now?
I'm going to play them. I was hoping that, the CCIV deal would come through and then I'm going to take that, money and I'm going to put it in those. I think the Chargers, even just as a long-term play, I definitely am going to do, because those are going to, they're going to show up all around the country. We have to replace our gas stations with the Chargers. So whether I'm going to do more in EVgo or ChargePoint, I haven't necessarily decided yet, or I might just play across the board evenly and just put, a couple in each. That way I, keep it a little diverse, but it kind of seems like EVgo might be the one that's going to play out more here, because it is one of the best fast chargers. And they have so many great solid connections already with, the GM, Albertsons, Kroger, Lyft, and Uber. So.
Oh yeah, no, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So that's great stuff. If anybody has any questions while Natalie's still with us, so one question was they've asked is, do you have your own channel to follow you? Not that I know of, not yet. I may have competition soon.
Yeah, I don't have my own channel as of now, but we'll see, maybe in the future.
Are you gonna be live when your dad goes live on the big jackpot this weekend, Saturday from Vegas? Are you gonna be with him again?
I think I might, so you might see me there as well.
I'll be on the Big Jackpot Facebook. Natalie was on it last week with him on the Big Jackpot Facebook page when they were live. So, and he's going to be taking over my Facebook again live in Vegas this coming week. So what do you think about Apple? I love Apple, but Apple's been down, and actually, this has actually worked out really good, because I told everyone last week, I said the premiums in Apple, and I like Apple because Apple's always going to come back. It's always going to be worth more money than it is today, tomorrow, or next year. I mean, not tomorrow, but next year. It's 5 years from now. Innovative company, it's always going somewhere. But it's very interesting. And I said to people, the premiums are just awful. I said, you'll get slaughtered if you play Apple and this thing goes down. And when Apple was 135, they're giving us 50 cents for the 132s. I said, if this thing goes down, which it did, to under 130 for a little while today, at 130, that 50 cents is $2. You're down 4 times. You're trying to make 200 grand. Before you know it, you're down 800 grand. Which, yes, you can keep rolling out and you can do these things, but you could just get slaughtered. So you have to be very careful, especially when you're shopping premiums and different stuff, in the marketplace. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I think with Apple, I don't know necessarily why it would be down like that, but I think just the market overall is just down right now. So I don't think it's necessarily something of too much concern.
Okay. How about this one? Penny says, what do you think of ACIC with drones and flying helicopters? Have you ever looked at that one? I haven't. I
have not. But honestly, how I play is, again, I play for the future. And so drones, I think that's something that's really good to invest in. Even when you've heard of Amazon testing out drone delivery, I think that's actually a good one to look at that I haven't considered before.
Flying taxis will replace helicopters.
That would be pretty cool.
United Airlines orders electric vertical aircraft, invests in urban air mobility SPAC. Wow. Crazy.
Sounds like the Jetsons, honestly.
So, but hey, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you guys all enjoyed having Natalie on. And we got a question from the father. Cruise ships, great. The cruise industry.
The cruise industry. Well, I
like cruises.
Yeah, I think the time to, I would think if you want to invest in cruises, it's still not too late, because it hasn't been necessarily a full travel recovery. And I think that's where my portfolio even got a lot of gain this past year was, when everyone was freaked out about COVID, I knew travel has to come back. So I went and I bought airline stocks. Those have already increased 100%. So I think cruise ships, there's probably still not come back yet. Not to say that they're an innovative industry, but if you wanted to just invest in something that is going to bounce back, you could do that. But
I think the cruise industry is definitely 100% going to bounce back. I think the issue is they've had to borrow billions of dollars to survive. And like I was telling somebody, you're losing all this money. And even when I think they're going to start sailing May 1st. I think May 1st is the date they've said we're going to start sailing. But they're not going to be sailing at 100%. They'll probably be 25, 50% to start. You also have to make sure all the islands and places or wherever the destinations are that they're going to are open and available for them to go to, which is good. You know, I mean, some will be, some of these islands will be destroyed without tourism. But the other thing is, like, you know, like last night I went to the buffet. I was at the casino. I went to the buffet. It's nice to have buffets back open, but it takes a long time when they have to serve you. And I'm not gonna lie, if you're going to a salad bar, you know how you want to make your salad. Me trying to tell the lady 3 croutons,
Yeah.
a scoop of bacon bits. I want to mix 2 dressings together. You know, I mean, it takes a lot. And by the time I mean, it was almost like I was wore out going through the buffet. Like I just worked a shift. You know, and I felt bad for the workers there because they're trying to, you know, and if you get 3 people backed up and somebody, you know, I mean, it's going to be interesting. You know, I mean, obviously we all look forward to the day when this is over. But yeah, I definitely think there's money in these reopening trades. And I know Southwest Airlines had some good news. They said, you know, travel's up. They're also giving away travel. I mean, they were able to take advantage when gas was cheap, but they've lost a lot of money. The government has given them some money, but there's, you know, international travels could be the one that's going to be very interesting, you know, and how fast that comes back, because that's where like your major airlines and bigger stuff is losing the money. Local travel, I think Southwest and JetBlue and more stuff that's just, you know, US based and, you know, maybe Caribbean and Mexico and, you know, stuff like that is going to do well or sooner. But yeah, it's going to take a while for like Delta, United, and, you know, flights overseas and Asia. You know, I mean, Asia was a big part of their, you know, routes and stuff every day. You know, you have, you know, 20 planes that are 80-90% capacity flying $1,000 each passenger, all, you know, with 400-300 passengers overseas. That's a lot of revenue not coming in, you know.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think that people are already itching to travel. So, you know, the desire is there, but I think people don't want to travel while the situation is what it is. You know, they want to travel and be able to be free and be able to sit at a restaurant, not have to worry. And so I think that's where, you know, later in the year is where we'll see these kind of tick back up. So there's still time.
Yeah, definitely. And guys, also always remember, these are just our opinions. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. So always do your research. Make sure you check out what you like to buy. We're just giving you our opinions and stuff. A couple of people are asking, is there a channel called Click Daughter? No, she's the Click Daughter's daughter of the Click Father. So that's why they call her the Click Daughter, but she doesn't have a channel yet. So just want to, but maybe one day, like I said,
maybe one day.
I'm not ready for competition yet. So
watch out.
So, but thank you so much for joining us. And
thank you.
Anytime you'd like to come back, or, you know, when you got some more picks, definitely love you sharing your insight and what you think. And so the question is tomorrow, what will CCIV close at on Friday? What's your price prediction?
Well, you know, I think we're going to see the same kind of pattern happening tomorrow that we've seen, which is kind of a dipping in the morning, dipping after hours. So I think that we'll see. I think it's at like 56 now. So I think it'll maybe drop to 50.
Up after hours right now. Yeah.
Oh, it is. So I think it still might dip in the morning though, but I think tomorrow we'll see another at least $10 gain. I don't know that they're going to release the news this week because, you know, then they'll only have 2 days to trade on it. So it might be a next Monday thing. And maybe they were holding it off specifically because they didn't want to do it during the short holiday week. So that could have been a reason.
Also have all their options. This is going to be interesting too, because all the options expire Friday. So there's a lot of people, there's a lot of market makers and people who are making a lot of money and losing a lot of money on this play. So it'll be interesting. But well, like I said, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
Anytime you want to come back. And guys, she may be live Saturday night with her dad on the Big Jackpot channel if you like slot machines. I know a lot of the people watching found us from the slot channel. So
yep.
Well, thank you
for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, awesome. Great job. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
All right.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
So, wow, that was great. So hopefully we'll get Natalie back. It's good because the millennials have different. The things I'm thinking about are not the same thing, you know, that somebody in their young 20s are thinking about, you know, versus somebody in their 80s are thinking about who's, you know, an active investor in the market. And it's always good to get a different insight and opinions because you never know. You never know. People see things differently. I have one way of thinking, and somebody at that age group sees travel because they're not where if you're 70 or 80 years old, COVID has you more scared to go take a cruise or go out to the casino. But somebody who's, you know, they're in their early 20s, they're not worried about COVID as much. I mean, they're still probably worried, but they're not worried about, you know what, let's go out to the bar tonight. Let's go out to a restaurant tonight. You know, even if we get it, we're going to survive it. So always different input and different, you know, how people see things. It's always great to get different ideas and stuff. Ryan says, what's your take on Rolls-Royce Holdings, RLLCF? I do not know anything. I assume this is the company that makes Rolls-Royce, maybe. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know anything about it. It looks like it is way up from a fraction of a penny. So it's obviously done. So 1 month chart done really good this last week or two. Looks like it was higher today at 9 cents, closed at 5. What was the volume today? A lot of volume for shares outstanding. Definitely a lot of volume. European markets close higher as chemicals and financial balances up. I don't know anything about this one. I mean, obviously, based on what I'm looking at, it definitely was way higher, came way down. You know, if you look at the 5-day chart, these are scary. You know, but it's hard to say. It's like that AABB that we talked about yesterday. You know, we're still kicking ourselves for not staying in that one longer, but it's hard to say because when you look at it, this one here, you know, hit a new 52-week high today. Got all the way up to 39 cents, closed at 30 cents. It's still up 40% for the day, so it had a great run. But I mean, 40 cents to 30 cents, that's 25%. That's a big drop. If you bought at 40 cents, you're down 25% of your money. If you put $100,000 in it, you're down 25 grand. You put $1,000 in it, you're down $250. So definitely, you know, you definitely got to watch these and stuff, and they can move very, very fast. So you got to always check them out and stuff. Also, guys, don't forget about the Webull challenge still going on. We've been sharing the links also to make sure you update us how you're doing in it. And we actually, the plaques came out. I'll make sure I'll share those tomorrow. We're going to have first, second, and third place to see who's doing the best in the Webull challenge. Just to recap, we had some issues, not some issues, but Charles Schwab changed the margin requirement on me. So I owe 30. I started the day off. They sent me an email. I had a $16 million margin call, and they said they went to a 70%. Now it looks like they've gone to 100%. And now I have a $38 million margin call. So I'm kind of in a holding pattern until Friday, until some of these contracts expire and figure out, what I'm going to do for a final thing. There's some options. There's some stuff I could do. You know, one thing is, you can buy, you know, I could buy calls to open, you know, and take my margin requirement way down. But then I'm also, I mean, I only have now $150,000 in play until, you know, for 2 more days, which we've made a lot of money, you know, make another 150 or so off of this and call it good. You know, you hate walking away early. You know, definitely there's plays, there's hedges. But, you know, why do I want to spend, you know, $20,000 to hedge something? You know, I'm happy with what I've made. We've done really good. We're doing great. I just don't see a reason to hedge it. WH says, will Schwab force liquidate to meet the margin call? So if this started coming down heavily tomorrow, like 10, if CCIV tomorrow drops and was like $40, they probably would make me liquidate the 35 contracts to take some risk off the table right away. Right now, they're working with me. You know, I have a large account. I mean, the stock's 20 points above my strike price, well, above one, 25 above another, and, you know, 30 points above the 25. So, I mean, they know what's going on. You know, I've been through this with Schwab before when they up the margin requirements on Apple on me, and they do this periodically. It sucks because, you know, you can make so much money by using leverage when you don't have, like you've just watched us. We made $1 million, you know, using our leverage. Well, we can't, if we don't have that leverage to use. I mean, that's the whole idea about being approved for level 3 trading, is they're putting their trust in you and they're letting you have better margin. Well, they're giving us basically nothing for margin. So definitely does hurt things. And like I was also saying, what's really nice is we got very lucky here. Let's, you know, because like I was showing you guys, and we looked at yesterday, let's pull up this, you know, Apple is the one, you know, I play heavily, and I'm going to be back into Apple, and I like that Apple's come down a little bit. I like Apple a lot better at 130 than I did at 136. I like Apple. I'll love Apple at 125. On Friday when we're making new moves. But as you can see, like I was showing you guys, if we would have played like these 132s, they were 50 cents last. On Friday, if we would have wrote those, and let's say we would have wrote 1,000 contracts to make 50 grand, we would have got 50 grand. Now those things are $1.60, and I mean at one point today they were probably like 225, and Apple broke through 130. It went all the way down. Apple today was all the way down to 129.47. So almost a point lower from where it's at right now. So it definitely moves. But like I was saying, you're trying to make 50. You're trying to make this 50 cents, and all of a sudden you're down 100,000 on the trade. So, or it could be down more depending on how many contracts you had. Now, the other thing is like the rollout. So now let's just, for example, so you have the 132s, it's $1, let's say $1.70 here in the middle. And you have to roll it out another week. This is what we've talked about. So, and this is why I like Apple. If you let's say Friday Apple is at 130.84, the 132 is going to be like if Apple was 130.84, it's going to be around $1.25, $1.40. So, about 20 cents lower, but then you can roll it out and you can write the 132 for next week, or excuse me, the following week, for $2.88, and pick up that money. So there's an opportunity there to definitely pick up more. And like I said, so if you had 50 contracts, you wound up losing $1 this week, but you roll it out, you pick up another $1. If Apple continued to drop, you could also look to roll down. Basically, if you bought back and you didn't want to make any money, but you want to hedge your risk, or you think Apple's going to continue to come down, you could write the 130, and different stuff. The one thing that is nice is as Apple is getting a little bit more volatile, let's say like for next week, Apple, and depending where Apple is, but Apple, here at 131, or 130, 131, now the 125 is 60 cents. So or last week, 3 points away from Apple was 50 cents, on Friday. Now, 6 points away is 61 cents. So the premiums are getting nicer, and it's a much safer investment because Apple dropping another 5 or 6 points, there's a lot less risk in that. And if I need something to, dump 1,000, 2,000 contracts into that I can make a couple of $100 grand, the 126, if it's around 70 cents, 2,000 contracts be 140 grand. So there's definitely some ideas and some stuff to play with here. And like I've told you guys, the law of large balances works against you. When your account size starts to really grow and you get bigger and bigger and bigger, you have to be very, very, you have to be very particular what you're doing, because it gets harder, to trade that. Like I said, it's very easy to say, I found something for $100, I made 200. I found something for 1,000, I made $2 grand. It's hard. I mean, we're up for the year. We're up over 21%. I mean, 41% for the year. I mean, that's huge. So definitely lots of stuff going on there, and you got to keep on top of it and stuff. But hey guys, thank you so much for watching us today. Big thank you for Natalie for joining us. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And maybe we'll have Natalie back again soon, and we'll have other guests I have planned to join us and stuff. Also, I got some surprises for my Patreon members in our Patreon group coming up with some special guests and some stuff that we're going to be doing live in there. But thank you guys so much. Big shout out to all our YouTube sponsors and Patreon members watching. Any of you guys can join our Patreon group, get my trades in real time. Just go to patreon.com/Raja Makes Money, and we add you to our private Patreon Facebook page where people are discussing different stocks and all sorts of different stuff. Hey guys, if you haven't subscribed yet on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. If you haven't followed me yet on Facebook, make sure you follow me. We also have a Instagram now for Raja Makes Money, so check out my Raja Makes Money Instagram, and I also have a Twitter for Raja Makes Money. So there are lots of ways and places to find us. But hey guys, I hope we all have a great trading day tomorrow. Let's fingers crossed CCIV continues to go up. The higher the better, because like I said, I'm in a holding pattern for the next 2 days. There's not a whole lot I can do. My hands are tied, unfortunately, but I don't mind. I've made a lot of money, and the only downfall is I hate it because there's so many trades I want to do. So I may post a couple of trades that I would probably do tomorrow. I'm not going to be able to make them right now. I may make them out of my other accounts, but I'm going to probably, for my Patreon members, I am going to post some stuff throughout the day of stuff that I probably would be buying and at what price point or why I like it, just if I see something so you guys know it. But hey, thank you so much for watching. Appreciate everyone who's been sharing, telling everyone about us, for all the thumbs up and likes you've been giving us. Can't tell you how much I appreciate it. And hey, I hope you guys make a lot of money tomorrow. You guys are my money makers. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.